Hello and welcome to the first episode in a series of episodes all on locomotion. We can think of locomotion as a movement language close to the ground. So similar to a language, we start off by isolating different elements, just as we would isolate words while learning a language. Then we start to integrate new elements together, just as we would integrate words into a sentence. And finally, we start improvising, combining the elements in many different ways that we didn't think of previously, finding new combinations, and more fluently working within this world of locomotion. In this first episode, we're going to be talking about warming up for locomotion, how to warm up, and I'm going to introduce a partner game, and we'll be using my partner, Max, my wife, Max here, to show this game. So let's get into it. To start this game, one person is going to be the controller, the other person is going to be going with that control. She will be the person that's going with me, I'll be the person that's controlling her. You're going to apply a force onto your partner very lightly, but your partner is not going to resist that force, they're going to go with it. So if I push down, she's going to push down. And I'm pushing very lightly, I'm not anything hard, she's just going with my motion. If I stop, she stops. If I want to turn her this way, she'll turn this way. If I want to isolate just the neck, we'll turn just the neck. If I want just the knee, we'll turn just the knee. So you can use any point that you want, and knowing your partner's body type and what they're good at, what they're bad at, we can challenge them. And she's not resisting at all, she's just moving to where I want to move her. At least one foot must stay on the ground at all times. You cannot bring both feet off of the ground because we're not working floating or flying at this stage, that's later on. But you can have her or him land on one foot. You can challenge their balance this way. You can challenge a little bit of strength and mobility here. Whatever they're able to do, you want to try to find their limit. Good. So what you saw there is you do want to challenge your partner enough to make them fail at least once so you can find those limits. If you never have them fail, then you're always working below the limits, but we don't want them failing so much that they're falling every second. 1 or 2 times in a set is enough, and then you can find those areas where they have the weak links and work there even more. Now, depending on certain mobility limitations or weaknesses, you can adjust how this is done. So if she turns me this way, I can choose to only turn the spine, or I can start turning the lower body too. It depends on what I'm able to do. When she pushes down, I can hinge at the hip, or I can squat down. I can even lift the ankle if I want to, as long as I'm going in her motion that she's sending me. So it can be adjusted to be as challenging as it needs to be for the individual. Now what you'll notice is when she's moving me in a direction, I try to keep the other pieces that have already moved as unmoved as possible. So if I can keep the previous orientation, then I will. If I can't, then that's okay. I can allow it to move as well. And she found my weakness. My hips are terrible in this direction. So this is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is going to start to warm up the upper body as well as the lower body, because in locomotion, we're on our hands and our feet. Partner is going to start off on all fours, knees just lightly lifted off the ground, all 4 points of contact. And the only rule here is you must keep one hand and one foot on the ground. So you can lift 1 foot and one hand. Yeah, I could elicit that, but we don't want to go into handstand. That's an option, but not something you want to do here. And we don't want to go back to standing because we just worked that. So I just apply a pressure in a certain direction, and she tries to maintain this direction while keeping the other pieces as unmoved as possible. I don't want to move too fast where she just falls down, but I do want to find where she can do it. You can work with 60 seconds to 120 seconds. Anywhere from 1 to 3 sets is a nice warm-up. So this is an excellent way to warm up. You can already see my body's warm. I've gotten my hands on the ground, my feet on the ground. I've had balance elements. I've seen a little bit of strength, a little bit of mobility. This is a great way to warm up, especially for locomotion, but you can use this for a variety of different sessions and qualities that you want to get from it. Also, you have the option and the great opportunity to work with a partner. So the more people that you can work with, the more kind of stimulus you can get, and each partner will give you a slightly different stimulus. In the next episode, we're going to go into some different locomotion elements, starting with some basic crawling and then working up from there. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and we'll release a video once every week. or that's the aim. We're going to be building Locomotion in the next month or two. So stay tuned for that. That's the session.